up, everybody? It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren, along with his fellow co-hosts, Dorian the D.A. Albreton, James the Angry One Warren, Mike Mills, Daryl D-Dub Warren, and Dan K, the Hockey Dude. This is a real sports podcast for real fans. This is a sports podcast with no hot takes, no narratives, just real, unadulterated sports talk. Please be advised that there may be some colorful and explicit language. The Sports Chasers are the defenders of the fans. Now, here's your host and moderator, Kevin L. Warren!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's happening, everybody? It's another session, another episode of the Sports Chasers Podcast, man, coming to you live and direct. It's Monday night. We're live. And as you can see by this caption, it's baseball talk tonight, MLB talk tonight. We're going to talk some MLB, MLB only, man. So should be an exciting show. If you haven't missed the last couple episodes, we had a standalone show where we did hockey. My main man, Dan, on the right here on the screen. We also did a standalone show where DA and D-Dub did boxing. So you need to catch those last two episodes of what those guys were talking about concerning those sports. Exciting. As you can see, we're the Sports Chasers for a reason. We talk all sports. And we talk them in season, out of season, especially when they're in season, of course. But with that said, hey, I'm going to go to the left to right on my screen. The Hockey Dude, he's joining us with his Pirates gear on. Dan, what's up, brother? How are you tonight?
Doing good. How's everybody doing?
Man, everybody's doing good, man. I'm doing all right, man. Appreciate you, Dan. Dan, we got the Angry One down at the lower end of the screen. Angry One, what's up, bro? How are you tonight? Salute.
Doing well. Sports Chasers on a special night, Monday night, 7:30. Glad to see everybody. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. We here. Like I said, we got some baseball talk tonight, man. Just to get a couple of things out the way. Make sure you like, click, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, we're on every major podcast platform. So if you missed some episodes, those not bingeable, you might want to go back and say, hey, what did them guys really say about so-and-so? You can go back. And like I said, we're on all major podcast platforms. We are also, like we said, our YouTube channel. Make sure you like, click, and subscribe to our channel. Hey, also, go to our website, sportschaserspodcast.net, and you will you'll see our webpage. And it's the news is powered by CBS Sports. We also write newsletters. Yes. These guys right here, us, no ghostwriters, we write newsletters according to anything pertaining to the world of sports. The Angry One had a very good piece today on baseball and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hey, but if you want to see it, you want to read about it, you got to go to our website, like, click, and subscribe. Put your email in, and you'll get his newsletter among the other ones that were written in the past, man. So some journalism going on here by the guys, man. So I appreciate that. From there, D-Dub should be joining us shortly. Another thing, I'm excited. I'm excited about this. This is really exciting. This is going to be a first. So hopefully we're talking baseball tonight. Hey, but you also, check this out. I wish I had the drum roll, please. Let me get it here on my screen. Someone maybe can give me a fake drum roll. I don't know.
We could get Houston to do it.
That was terrible, but
I can't stand it. If you see right down on the lower screen, that's right. You have the ability to call in 878-888-6121. That's 878-888-6121. We are only talking about baseball tonight. Let me say that again. Hold on. Let me put this at the bottom of the ticker. And other sports. If you want that other sports, we're not talking about that. As you can see, they shut down Victor Wembanyama. So no, we're not doing baseball tonight.
Oh, so we're not going to talk about how they already start in load management in San Antonio? No? Okay, I'm sorry.
Eric, I thought that too. I was like, already? They got the culture already? 2 games. It's like, all right, please shut them down. I was like, wow.
Come here, young fellow. We're going to introduce you to load management. This will save your career for an extra year.
Oh, man. So, like I said, call into the sports chat, Chases 878-888-6121. You trolling, we got the drop button. So if you want to just do that, hey, you're going to make history if you call in tonight. So call in, see what you got to say, man. Concerning baseball only, baseball calls only, man. So we'll see what we got, man. So let's begin. Well, like I said, with our baseball show, the All-Star game. We're talking MLB, baseball tonight. MLB is at the halfway point. That's why this show is going on tonight. We will not be on Thursday. We'll be on vacation, all of us. So with that said, baseball is on tab, and they're at the halfway point with the All-Star game coming up on tomorrow. The Home Run Derby is tonight. It will be taking place exactly in about 20 minutes out in Seattle at T-Mobile Park. The Midsummer Classic, to me, and we always talk about this on the show, I think baseball is the best All-Star game. I just wish they go back to letting the players wear their own jersey instead of them ugly jerseys that the league makes them wear. Can't stand that. I wish they do something about that, but that's just my thing. But they're at the halfway point. Baseball is the halfway point. So many good things that's going on. Shoei Otani, he's doing his thing again with the pitching and with the hitting, and it's just a shame he's not playing for a winner. Eric, your thoughts on Shoei Otani?
Well, I addressed this
yes, you
last time I was on. It's a friggin' shame to see such a talent, such a generational talent, who is his team is currently 1 game under 500 at 45-46. Too bad these guys. Well, too bad some of these guys don't have the attitude of NBA players, because he would have asked for a trade decades ago, and he's only been there how long? I mean, it's a shame. That's all I can say, man. I said the same thing about Mike Trout. You know, baseball enthusiasts, everybody knew who Mike Trout was. But if you're that good, you should be known everywhere. When somebody talks baseball, you should know that name. That's one of the gripes that I have with Major League Baseball. They suck at advertising their players.
That they do. That's real talk. They really do. They got to do a better job of marketing their players. Dan, your thoughts on Shoei Otani and why? Go ahead.
Yeah, I love watching the dude. You know, whether he's pitching, whether he's hitting. I mean, just the way he approaches the game and has fun with it. It's infectious and it's fun to watch. And like he said, it's a shame that like all the things that he's doing, they still suck. I mean, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, are they going to make the playoffs?
So currently the Angels are 45-46. They're
no. The answer is no.
They're 7 games behind the Texas Rangers, who are 52-39. The Rangers are in first place. They're playing well. So, yeah, it's totally a shame. Like you said, he said a generational player, and this is what we got, and it's unfortunate. And yeah, you're right. If he would have demanded the trade, let me get me out of here, man. But rightfully so. Look what's going on, and same thing with Mike Trout, wasting away. And I don't know what's the deal with the Angels, why they just don't spend money. I don't want to hear that they play in a small market. They play right outside of Los Angeles, man, right in Anaheim.
Well, so to counter your point there.
Go ahead, sir.
No, because over the weekend at adult daycare, I had a few moments and I was looking some stuff up, and their payroll is $217 million, I believe.
Yep. So it's not that they.
Yeah, it's not that they don't spend money.
They just
They just don't know how to spend money. There's a difference.
They're in the market of the New York Mets when it comes to spending money.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they are not.
Well, they're in that half. I'll put it like that.
The Mets are in another stratosphere.
Yeah. I
saw a thing. I about fell out of my chair when I was looking like through MLB or whatever. But the New York Mets, the list of players that they're still paying money to.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
They probably have as much money going out to players that don't play there. Hell, Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid. Brett Saberhagen, I think, is still getting paid. I mean, it's ridiculous. They probably are paying the Pirates what they've spent a year on players that don't play with them.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I saw Bobby Bonilla every June.
Yeah, it's Bobby Bonilla Day.
Bobby Bonilla Day.
It's what 1 point something million, 1.4 or something like that every June something.
You talk about a annuity for the ages. Shout out to Bobby Bonilla's agent. At the end of the day, he said, "I'm going to make sure I get paid for a very, very long time. Make sure, like I said, you can call into the show if you want to, 878-888-6121, 878-888-6121. You want to discuss baseball. So like I said, Shoei Otani, let me just go through the major league standings here. Like I said, Tampa Bay, they're in first place. They're currently 2 games up on the Baltimore Orioles. Toronto's 50-41. They are 7 games out. My Yankees are 8 games out. They had a tough time with the Cubs this week, and Boston's behind. So Cleveland leads the hapless. Well, I shouldn't say hapless, but they're 45-45. They lead the American League Central. Yes, finally somebody's at 500, but we'll see. Minnesota's a half a game behind at 45-46. There's no need to name the rest. The Tigers, White Sox. Hold on 1 second. Sorry for that. That noise. We'll try to fix it here in a little bit. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Detroit, Chicago, the White Sox, Kansas City, they are just not playing really good baseball. Sorry that I mentioned to them. And if you're fans of them, I'm sorry for you too. The Texas Rangers, they're 52-39. The Houston Astros, 50-41. The Seattle Mariners are 45-44. The aforementioned LA Angels are 45-46. And the Oakland/Vegas A's are 25-67. Shout out to Atlanta Braves. They have won 60 games at the break. Ronald Acuna Jr. Shout out to them. The Miami Marlins. Now I'm getting chatter. Oh, what about the Marlins? Okay, I'm mentioning the Marlins. The Marlin fans, y'all forget about the Marlins. I only know really true Marlin fans. You know they are. I'll big y'all up in a little bit. The Phillies are 48-41. And the New York Mets, the disappointing New York Mets, 42-48, the best team money can lose with. This is like almost the year of 1984, with them spending back then like $40 million, which was a lot of money back in the early 80s. And now the Mets are not good. Hey, they ran up a couple games here right before the break, and then they ran into the Padres, and I believe they lost 2 out of 3 to the Padres. But the Mets, they started off July. They won 5 in a row, and kind of getting things together, playing inspired baseball. Swept the E's adopted Arizona Diamondbacks. So that was good to see, Mets. But, the Mets are still, unfortunately, if you're a Met fan, they're 18.5 games behind the Braves at the break. So, and the Washington Nationals are not even really need to be mentioned. They are awful, 36-54 at the break. Hey, my adopted team, the Cincinnati Reds. Hey, 50-41. Major League Baseball needs to change this thing where they can get De La Cruz into the All-Star game. I don't understand that. He stole 3 He stole second, he stole third, and he stole a steal home on Saturday, I believe. And it was all within like 90 seconds. Nobody was watching them. They're exciting team. Joey Votto just came back from injury. He's back. You got the Milwaukee Brewers. They're 49-42, one game behind. The Chicago Cubs, they're 42-47. Dan's Pirates, 41-49. And the St. Louis Cardinals are 38-52. Dan, I'm gonna give you something to about your Pirates. Even though they're not doing well, what you got for me on the Pirates, brother?
Well, I mean, yes, we're not doing great. I mean, we're 41-49.
Yes.
And, just to scroll up on the standings in. So, what was it? Your Spankies payroll is what? $279 million. The Pirates is $76 million. So for $200 million, you got 8 more wins this season. Put that in perspective.
Yeah.
But all that being said, Mitch Keller's killing it. He's the only one that's really in the starting rotation that's stayed healthy. Rich Hill's been pitching okay. He's a couple games under 500. But besides those two, like we got a bunch of the other starters that got hurt, have been out, and it's just kind of been a Band-Aid effect. So, like Keller the other night against Arizona, he pitched 7 innings, I think, gave up 1 run, and I think we lost 2-1 or 3-2 and extra innings. But it's like if him and Hill don't win, it's tough sledding, to say the least. But I will say, I caught a little bit of the draft the other night, and I know that Cruz kid from LSU is just an absolute beast. But like I've been complaining about all year, for the owner, go spend some money, get some pitching. They picked the pitcher up, Paul, is it Skeens? Number 1 in the draft. Big kid, I think he's 6'5", 6'6", throws triple digits. That's what they need. They need to cultivate some of the. I mean, I looked at their draft picks. We've had 10 so far. 8 of them are pitchers. So apparently, my voice must carry all the way to Pittsburgh, and Nutting can hear me because they're finally getting around to doing what they should be doing, getting these guys in the minors, developing them, bringing them up, and have a core of a rotation, and go from there. So, I mean, I like what they did at the draft. I hate the fact that we keep picking fucking number 1 because you know what that means. You're dog shit.
Yeah.
I mean, this year we got lucky because I think this is the first year they did the draft thing where it was a lottery, and we actually jumped over. Who was second? Washington. So, there like it's promising. Like I said, we're what 41-49 or something like that. Yeah, so we're at 8 games under 500. It's July. That's usually after April. So we're trending in a positive notion. We're getting closer to the 500. And like I said, all these teams that are spending big money. Shit, the Mets are only 42-48.
Yeah.
They're a half game ahead of us. And they spent $348 million.
Well, that's again, Met fans. That's your owner's fault. You're spending the money the wrong way. And you
heard what he said, that he was gonna move players out if need be, and retain salary. So that list of people getting paid that don't play for him anymore is going to continue to grow. I mean, it's like you said though. It's you got to be more precise and hedge your money on the right horse. Just because the odds are good, you get paid if you put $10 down, doesn't mean you need to, be betting on the bad horse to win big. You got to fucking, get proven players. And I don't know what the deal is because I don't really follow the Mets. I don't know if it's a underperforming thing or they're just all in a funk. But
they're not hitting. That's one.
Yeah, it's disastrous over there.
Yeah, they're not hitting. My main man that came from the Cleveland, the Guardians, their shortstop, he's not doing well either. So
I'll tell us, say his name, Kevin. Francisco Lindor. I told you people up here that was a bad move. Everybody looked at me crazy. I said he does not have the guys in front of him or behind him coming with him to New York. It's going to be a problem. Nah, angry when you tripping. Okay.
I will go to the National League West. The Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks are tied for first. The San Francisco Giants are 49-41. They're 2.5 out. Dorian's Padres, his adopted team, they're 43-7, still underachieving. And the Colorado Rockies are awful at 34-57. So E gave a little bit gave a lot in his newsletter this morning. E, go ahead and expound again on your Arizona Diamondbacks.
Well, I'll just say this: if Arizona had the pitching to go along with their great offense, they would be head and shoulders above LA and everybody else in the National League. Well, E, what are you talking about? Glad you asked me. So if you guys were to subscribe to to Sports Chasers, you would have got that great auditorial of what I'm talking about of the Arizona Diamondbacks. But let me just give you a little snippet. I'm not going to give you all because then you won't want to go get the newsletter. So the Arizona Diamondbacks currently are top 10 in many batting statistics. Home runs, RBIs. Well, not home runs, but they are top 5 in many. Well, they're top 5 in a little like stolen bases, RBIs. They're small ball USA. They don't hit a ton of home runs, but they get on base, and these kids get out and run. And I think they have a bright future, man. I really do. If they can just get somebody in there with Zach Gallen, who is their ace, they got guys that just are not proven yet. But if they come around and they can get some quality, some top 10 pitching to go with their top 10 hitting, Arizona's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Agreed.
Corbin Carroll, ladies and gentlemen. I said it before. I'll say it again. Corbin Carroll. Remember that name. I know. Kev, what's your man name in Cincinnati? I don't want to butcher it. De La Cruz. Yes. Elly De La Cruz.
Yes.
He deserves all the hype. I get it. But he's not the only one. He's not the only one.
I don't think it's hype. I think he's good. I think Corbin is good too. Corbin got selected to his first All-Star game. He'll be starting. And De La Cruz. Let me ask you this. I know I'm kind of a little bit of every play. Do you think every team needs to be represented in Major League Baseball's All-Star game?
No.
Okay.
I feel like the best players should be represented. I feel like the All-Star teams are for the players. It's not for the teams. It's for the fans. The fans don't want to see every team because if that was the case, they would go out and watch every team. But Tampa Bay, you guys don't support nothing. So, I mean, what are we talking about?
Oakland.
Excuse me. Yeah, Oakland too. The Oakland/Las Vegas Athletics. Yeah.
The only time that they get a full house is when they boycott the game.
The reverse boycott. Dan, let me ask you this. What do you think about baseball's All-Star game? Do you think there need to be a representative? They've been doing this since 1933, since they started the All-Star game. You think there should be a representative in every All-Star game?
I will say this. If a bad team does have a good player, I'd like to see them there.
Yeah.
To represent the team.
Agreed.
But if they're just god awful and nobody's hitting for average, nobody's hitting home runs, nobody's winning, starting pitcher, winning all their games. Just say they have one guy that's 11-2 and everybody else is, not that good. and their team is terrible. I wouldn't mind seeing that pitcher get his opportunity to go because he's proven himself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's they need to have somebody that is worth going to see, or putting up the numbers, or doing well. Because I mean, look at Otani; he's doing great, and yes, he is a big name, big face in big market, but really the team's not all that great. You know what I mean? It's because like I know there's years where we had to throw the charity guy out there for the Pirates, and it was just like really, you know what I mean? Even I was like, why? And and it would be like a pitcher or something. Like this year, we got two in the. I think Keller deserves, the nod, and we got another reliever and Bedard that's really good, but how does he get stats if we are never close enough to win a game and he can come in and save the game, which is his
Right.
job, and he kind of got bumped in there because of Kershaw. But if a team's terrible and nobody's really excelling, I don't mind putting somebody else that is on another team, in there and excluding that team.
Right.
Because to me, that's almost a kick in the ass to the owner. They're like, oh, hey, we don't have anybody at the All-Star game. You know what I mean? Like, that's embarrassing. We don't have one guy out of, 30-some that are on the bench that are worthy enough to go to this game to get them to be like, all right, we got to fix this. We got to, do something to improve. I think it'd be a motivational factor for some of these teams.
Yeah.
But like O'Neal Cruz, like you were saying, or De La Cruz.
Elly
Like,
De La Cruz, yeah.
Since he's come in, like they're almost nightly a highlight of him doing something electric. Hitting it, smashing a home run.
CTV, yes.
Yeah, stealing bases, stealing 3 bases, in one inning, back to back to back. That was like stealing home. That was just crazy. But it just shows you that the competitive level and the baseball IQ of, oh, hey, you ain't going to pay attention to me. Okay, I'm going home. And I hope that, our kind of, he reminds me of O'Neal Cruz for the Pirates.
Yes, I agree.
Both big, tall, lanky, fast. Hopefully our guy comes back and makes an impact in the second half of the season from the foot injury. Hopefully he's learned how to slide. But I think, that's the future of baseball. Those guys, the young guys, the guys that are, are doing the things like Acuna, But if you don't have somebody that's worthy enough to go to the All-Star game, then I guess you don't go. That's the way I look at it.
Gotcha. Elly De La Cruz's numbers, by the numbers, he's had 126 at bats, 28 runs, 41 hits, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs, 16 stolen bases. He is currently batting 325 now. 325. Another guy, because people are gonna get on my nerves about the Marlins. I ain't saying nothing about the Marlins. The Marlins, yes, they're doing their thing, but they're not gonna catch the Braves. They're gonna get a wild card spot. The Braves are juggernaut again. Luis Reyes, who was flirting with 400, he's currently batting 383 on the season. He has 3 home runs and 42 RBIs with an OPS of 905 and 1 stolen base. So like you were saying, Dan, these players like the Luis Reyes and the Elly De La Cruzes and your guy in Pittsburgh, what's his name again? I'm sorry.
O'Neal Cruz.
O'Neal Cruz, excuse me. These guys are, like you said, they're exciting. And, they're stealing bases. They're hitting for average, more than average, hitting for power. And if you look at De La Cruz, he's like almost, he's 6'5", 200 pounds, man. So he's a big fella. And if you didn't see how he stole second, third, and steal a home on Saturday, you need to go and watch it. Go on YouTube, check it out. It is incredible how he's on base, and especially to steal a home where the pitcher from Milwaukee was not paying attention. And I mean, it wasn't even close if you saw it. So, yeah, it definitely was. So I'm excited about that, about baseball and how it's definitely going down. Also, here going down into the second half, you got to be excited about how for the exception of the National League East, all of the races are seemingly close. The Rays are two games up over the Orioles. The Guardians have a half game lead over the Twins. The Rangers with a 2-game lead over the currently world champion Astros. The Reds with a 1-game lead over the Brewers, and the Dodgers and Diamondbacks are tied atop the National League West with the San Francisco Giants looming 2 games behind. Eric, let me ask you this: the race between the Diamondbacks and Dodgers, who you think is going to win that division? Who you think is going to get the wild card?
I think ultimately the Dodgers are still the seasoned vet, so I think they will stand the test of time and win the division. I think Arizona, hopefully, they will keep their footing and get into with the wild card. But
Right.
they are incredibly ahead of schedule, so I take that with a grain of salt. I'm not going to sit here and be like, "Oh yeah, I picked them, so they're going to the World Series." Nah, I'm not going to do that. But they are fun to watch. They may not be De La Cruz excitement fun to watch, but they are fun to watch. They have some speedsters on that team too.
That's a tight division too.
Yes, it is.
It's 2 games between the top 3. So, like you said, though, they're way ahead of schedule. And, with Kershaw going down, does that slow the Dodgers down a little bit? San Francisco, they get to play the Pirates out of the break, so that's 3 wins.
Stop.
So, I mean, that's going to be that's the one thing I do like when the divisions are close like this, that like the games matter.
Yes.
And you look back, it's almost like we talk about it in hockey too, that really, you could have lost the last game of the season in hockey or whatever, or the second to last game, or both, and missed the playoffs. But it was that stretch in January that you lost 5 in a row that ultimately cost you against bad teams. The same thing with baseball. It's a long ass season. They're how many games in? 80 maybe. So they got 82 more to go.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get into that rut where it's oh shit, this dog days of July and August. But those games are to that division. These games coming up are really going to matter later on in the season as to who gets in and who doesn't.
Yeah. The Braves. Let me just go to the Braves. Like I said, they're the only team that's got this huge lead, and I don't think nobody's going to catch them. The Braves got that. Their offense is cooking. With Acuna Jr. doing his thing and in the race for being the MVP. Acuna Jr. is currently. Hold on, I get to that. Their pitching is dope with Spencer Strider and Bryce Elder. They're doing their thing with that, and their front office, the Braves front office. Even going back to the days when they won their championship against the when they was the team in the 90s, right? And what is it? Did they win? What was it? 1 or 2? I'm not sure. I know the Yankees beat them twice.
Lackey could tell you. He's a huge fan.
I need Lackey to call in. Lackey, call in. 878-888-6121.
I think he's playing putt-putt at Kitty Hawk.
Okay, he's playing putt-putt. Okay, maybe we'll get him another time. Hey, if you want to talk baseball real quick, hey, give us a call, 878-888-6121. See how that number just rolls off. 878-888-6121. If you want to call in, talk about baseball and baseball only tonight, man. So, Dan, my American League East, Tampa Bay and the Orioles. Well, they're 2 games separated by them. The Tampa Bay's kind of, tempered down a little bit. Right now, would you say Tampa Bay will win the East outright, or will the surging and the young Orioles come through? And I'll give my thoughts on that.
I don't know, because like looking at this, they've had a rough past 10 games. They're 3-7. Tampa is,
Yeah,
and honestly, what they did at the beginning of the season was phenomenal, but we all knew that wasn't going to last.
nope.
It's not feasible. You know what I mean? At some point, you're going to come back to reality. I mean, you're still a good team, win 2 or 3 every series, but just to be on that hot tear. But Baltimore's coming on, even Toronto. Toronto is only 7 games back, and the Yankees are 8 back. And I mean, the thing with baseball, they play so many damn games, and there's so much opportunity for injury.
Yes.
And it's not your typical, you break something or whatever, but it's usually you pull something, strain something. Your boy in his big toe, turf toe, the Honorable Aaron Judge. But that shit matters. So who can stay healthy, especially pitching staffs. But I'm the Orioles. Weren't they terrible last year or the year before?
They sucked the last 2 years. They finally got it together. They finally got it together.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say they started playing well in the second half of the season last year, so everybody was hoping that it would carry on as it did this year.
Right. Okay.
It's good to see that.
Nah, it's really good to see that the Orioles have gotten it together, and hey, we got our first caller. How about this? This is one for the record books, and let's see if we can get this. Hey, we know who it is. Hello, caller. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Well, who are we speaking to? I think I know who we're speaking to. But is this VLAC?
Y'all already know who it is.
So how about this? This is in Sports Chasers history. Hey, my man VLAC, for call. Well, I was gonna send him one anyway, but I'm gonna. Hey, being that you're our first caller, man, you're gonna get not only one T-shirt, you're gonna get a hoodie too, man, for being our first caller ever into the Sports Chasers podcast. Guys, can you hear VLAC?
I could hear him.
Okay. Dan, don't be like that. Don't be like that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dan, don't start your crap.
VLAC, talk about your Braves, brother. We just gave the Braves some love, man. Go ahead, talk about your Braves, man.
Hold up. Y'all there?
Yeah, we're here. Can you hear us?
Okay. Yeah. I'm here.
Go ahead, talk about the Braves.
Hey, man, I'm just saying the Braves, they're on fire. Nobody can deny that. They're doing it without their starting pitchers. I mean, most of the pitchers have been hurt. They just got back the pitchers, and they just got one of them back this week. So, I mean, they got all 9. They had 9 infielders going to the All-Star game right now.
Incredible.
I mean, as long as they can keep that same momentum going, I mean, the second half of the season and, of course, playoffs, they're known for choking in the playoffs. But if they can keep it up, man, they're gonna be a force, man. Especially if they need trades for some pitchers before the trade deadline.
Who would you want?
I don't even know, man. I don't keep up with baseball a whole ton because work schedule and everything else. But I mean, they still need a real closer, and then they still need at least one more good, pretty decent starting pitcher. I mean, I have to look at who they really got, that's out there. And there's quite a few players out there. I mean, I'm sure the Pirates would give away anyway. They give away everybody for peanuts.
Hey, I was going to wait till you were finished, and I was going to say there was talk of them moving McCutchen. And the people were interested in McCutchen, but they're not going to trade him. He's going to have to leave on his own terms. The other one was Bedard.
Nah. I'm sure Dan's probably talking some trash, but
I'm sorry that you can't hear Dan. We'll fix that. Dan was basically said
no, it's a normal thing when we play video games, so this is nothing new.
Whatever.
Uh-oh.
No, I was going to say that there's talk of them moving Bedard the closer.
But yeah, I mean, I think the Braves will be fine. I mean, they got everything going for them. So I mean, Olsen's hitting good. I mean, and he was a big replacement for Freddie Freeman. So.
Yeah, it's like they never missed a beat at that position. And like I said, what was it? What was it the year before when he left? He really didn't want to leave. We actually had an episode about that. Him not really wanting to leave. He didn't want to leave. It was his agent's fault. So,
Yeah, his agent. Yeah.
So
Crazy.
Yeah, he didn't want to leave. It was all his agent that got him to leave. He did not want to leave. He was really mad at his agent.
right, because he had ties in Atlanta, and he had, he did his thing there, man. So, listen, y'all guys y'all won 60 games. Y'all up? How many games y'all up on? The Marlins, was it 9 or 8, something like that?
8.5.
Something like that.
Yeah, and so I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if you heard it. Dan was talking about getting away Bedard and McCutcheon probably moving.
No, McCutcheon's not moving.
You said McCutcheon's not moving. Okay.
Yeah, unless he asks for a trade.
Gotcha, man. So, hey, if you want to be like my man VLAC, hey, call into the show. VLAC is our first person in the history of the show to call in. And bro, we appreciate you so much. He's also active in the YouTube comments. And so grateful for you, brother. Thank you for, like I said, we will get you that t-shirt and that hoodie. Well, it's not hoodie weather because it's like 100 degrees everywhere in the South. So
I don't know. My daughter's out here wearing it on Kitty Hawk. So I don't know.
So yeah, we'll give baby girl a hoodie too, man. But brother, thank you so much, man, for calling in, man. And again, thank you for your support, V-Like. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I'll listen to you on the cast.
You got it, man. Thank you so much. Hey, that was pretty cool. Hey, so like you said, we have the ability to call in for you to call into the show, man. So if you want to call into the show, it's we ain't gonna be on it for long. It's 878-888-6121. You call in. You want to talk about the subject at hand, you just can't jump on here and talk about, we talking baseball and you want to talk Batman. It doesn't work that way because we will drop you. So
I will say to his point though.
Go ahead.
Like the starting roster for the Dodgers or for the NAL is literally Atlanta and LA. The Dodgers. Like the catchers from Atlanta, first baseman Freeman from the Dodgers. Was it Arcia? The shortstop, Acuna, the outfielder,
right,
all from Atlanta. And then you got Mookie Betts in the outfield for the Dodgers, and JD Martinez is the DH. Like Carroll's the one starter from Arizona. You got Arredondo from St. Louis, and you got Arraez from Miami. That's the only 3 players that aren't from either of those 2 teams on the starting lineup. Crazy. That tells you that both those teams are kicking ass.
Yeah, for sure. Let me move to the American League Central, where Cleveland and Minnesota, pretty much they're gonna be duking it out for the rest of this year. Shout out to the Guardian. That's my old man's. That's my pop's team. And when I talked to him about them, he said, man, they need some more hitting and stuff like that. And I said, Pop, they're in first place, man. Maybe he'll call in. I doubt it, but I think first of all, the Twins, I don't think they have enough pitching to. I mean, I know the Indians have just a little bit pitching, but I don't think the Twins have enough pitching and hitting to surpass the Indians. Excuse me, I keep calling the Indians the Guardians, and I think the Guardians should win that division, man. So it is what it is with that division. Let me move on to the American League West, where the Rangers are playing really good, and the Houston Astros are right behind them at 50-41. And the team that's hosting the Major League Baseball's All-Star Game, the Seattle Mariners, they are 6 games behind Texas. I see This division right here, I see Houston. I mean, they're still hanging with them, so we'll see. With the Texas Rangers, so got that covered there. Let me see. Dan, you're laughing. Why are you laughing?
Yeah, I just like on the MLB page in the standings.
Was that you banging the garbage can, you jerk?
Yeah. But I was just like scrolling down through the standings as you're going over them.
Right.
And, kudos for, the last time I talked baseball, the A's had only won 12 games. They're up to 25. But what I laughed at is I kind of went over to the right, and it has runs scored, runs against. They're minus 248 runs.
That's not good.
They've only scored 329.
Which means
they've given up almost 600 runs. Holy crap.
Wow.
Like, there's no one in the same ballpark as them. Like, not even over like 150, or 160.
They got a bunch of minor leagues on the team, and that's shame on the owner. And we talked about that. Some of the worst. You want to hear an episode? Go back to the best and worst owners. We had a bonus episode like how this one is. We talked about the best and worst owners, and we talked about the Athletics owner, how he has gutted the team and has made allusions to like the team wasn't supporting. Well, yeah, it's kind of hard to like a place. It's like you living somewhere. I love my place. If a slumlord is doing what? He's not fixing the refrigerator. There's rodents everywhere, and you're not gonna say I love this place. I want to. Nah, it doesn't work that way. So we'll yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. The Rangers are, like I said, they're 52-39. They are 16-11 in the West, as the Astros are 17-10 in the American League West, and that's there's 2 games separating them. I think that should go down to the stretch. I think the Astros will overtake them as well. You got some injuries on there. You got they're hurt too. Alvarez, Alvarez, he's out with his oblique. Altuve, he's been hurt on and off with his oblique. You got Jose Urquidy, he has a shoulder problem. McCullers, his forearm, and Garcia. They got 3 pitchers out, but they managed to, stay the tide. As we said, we're here. Any predictions before we get on out of here about base? Oh, let me talk about this. I didn't really talk about my Yankees. I got to talk about my Yankees, right? Got to talk about my Yankees, man. Like I said, the Yankees had let's see. They're currently 8 games behind Tampa Bay. That's makeable to make it, but I think the Yankees will be a wild card. But here's my thing about the Yankees. Every year they get to the postseason, especially the last 10 or so years, right? Last time the Yankees won the World Series was in 2009 against the Philadelphia Phillies, and it's been 14 years. And every time during it, they make the postseason, but it looks like when they get to the postseason, they can't hit. And that's what happened last year. That's what happened the year before, so forth and so forth. And nothing. Then last year, they really couldn't hit against the Astros. The Astros just made mincemeat of them. There was talks of getting Soto. I don't think that solves the problem either. Because then you're going to have Soto, then you're going to have Stanton, and then you're going to have Judge. Judge is still hurt. He's not. He got elected to the All-Star game, but he will not be going because he's still hurt his toe when he made that wonderful catch out there in L.A. So who knows? But we'll have to see with that about the Yankees. But I'm really, really surprised. Not surprised, but it's good that the Reds, which is a charter franchise of the National League, that they're playing well, that they're in first place. And, Votto's back. He's got a bunch of young dudes with him, and they're playing well, and they're pitching well. And we'll see down the stretch. If you have not watched a Cincinnati Reds game, do yourself a favor watch the Reds. Like I says, Eli De La Cruz, he is that dude. Exciting baseball, man. So before we get on out of here, Eric, what's your predictions? Any predictions you got about the Major League Baseball season before we get on out of here?
My prediction is, well, I think it'll carry out through the rest of the year that the American League East is the best in baseball. I think you're going to see a whole lot of shifting between second and fourth place. Yankees could be in second, they could be in first, they could be dead last. You know, I think Boston has not showed all of what they have to offer, and oh man, it's like you said, it's a long season. Second half, everybody's starting to you know, try to punch that ticket for the postseason. I think they're going to put their all these teams are going to put their best foot forward, and I think that the Mets will be in dead last before it's all said and done.
Dead last?
Dead last. If people, another thing that when I was doing my research on Arizona, Washington is, yeah, they're bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say that they're not. However, they are in a lot of the top 10 categories too when it comes to offense. So, again, not saying that they're going to be Baltimore of last year. I'm not saying that, but the Mets are god awful, and it's a shame.
But they won the first couple games in July.
That's so what? What did they do in May?
Meet the Mets.
Okay. And I will say again, I think, and I give DA a little bit of a slack when it comes to them Padres, but I think the Padres will find themselves over 500 and make a little bit of noise, but not enough to contend for the division. But I think you will see 4 teams in the National League West over 500.
Gotcha. Okay. Dan, any predictions for the second half of baseball?
You know, I don't know shit about baseball. But that being said, I kind of what I'm thinking, like the trend that I've been seeing, you know, through the last month or so, I think Cincinnati is going to win the Central, and they're going to make the playoffs for the first time in probably forever. I think Arizona is going to make it, whether they win that division, they'll be the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, with Atlanta, if they start getting, you know, some of their injured players back, nobody's going to touch them in the East. And then, you know, I think that like the AL West, I think Texas should take that, but you never know with Houston what they come up with. The Central, that's basically throw all those names in the hat, or Minnesota or Cleveland.
I think Cleveland.
And then I think, I don't know. I know Tampa, like they just been lights out most of the year, but I just got a feeling that Baltimore is going to get that confidence and that swagger back from the second half of last season. And like, hey, let's do the same thing. We started out better than the first season, you know, first part of the season. Now let's finish it. And I think they'll either win that division or they'll be one of the wild cards. Your Yankees, no, I think they're going to be at home with the Pirates playing cards.
Oh, you don't think the Yankees gonna make the wild card? Dang.
No.
Even with Cole?
Yeah, you're welcome. But that's what I'm saying. I think between Tampa and Baltimore, or Tampa and Baltimore, those two are definitely going to get in. The Yankees got to worry about what happens with Houston.
Mm-hmm.
They could easily bump them out. But, you know, it's basically another half of, like, literally 80 more games they got to play.
Yep.
You know, can your boys get healthy? Is going to be a big factor in that.
Right. And it depends on, you know, who's selling, who's trading, and who's.
And I think that's like my big thing is there's going to be a fire sale. What's the name of their stadium? Lincoln something or other, or
Who's that?
The Mets.
Oh, Citi Field.
Citi Field. I was thinking Shea Stadium.
No, that's the old place where they knocked down. Next,
But yeah, I think you're going to be seeing signs on every street corner. It says yard sale.
Mm.
Whatever the date is for the trade deadline, and you know, 7 to 3 p.m.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard it here from Dan. All the folks out in Flushing, guess what? He's saying that there's going to be a yard sale in Flushing next to Citi Field.
Because they ain't good. I don't see them getting better.
I would say this about, they played the Mets played some inspiring ball against Arizona here last week. Alvarez, their catcher, he had a couple game-winning hits and home runs during that time. But we'll see. That's a lot to make up, and things have been more the wiser where teams have played off on the first half and came back and made up. But that's a lot of ground to make up, and the only saving grace is that they got the wild card. Or get into the playing game or the wild card. Well, yeah, I guess. Well, no, is it a wild card? Is it a playing game? No, I'm not going there. No.
Whatever it is, it's stupid.
Oh,
But they're 7 games back in the wild card.
okay, thank you, Dan, for bringing that up. 7 card, which is doable, right? They just got to play baseball. They got to win series. In baseball, you got to win series. You don't necessarily have to win games in a row, but if you win series, you could be back in the mix come September.
Kevin,
go ahead.
It's not doable for the Mets. They are known for blowing leads, not making up ground. It's over. It's a wrap.
Mm.
Sorry, it's too many teams. Look, for you. Okay, so in all of sports, regardless of what sport it is, right? In order for you to make up ground, yes, you have to play phenomenal, but then you have to have other teams just fall by the wayside. And it's too many teams to do that for them to make up. Even it's just 7 games. Look how many teams that is in contention. You got about 6 teams.
Well, Miami, Philly, Milwaukee, Chicago,
San Fran,
Arizona,
San Fran,
San Fran, and San Diego. They're all 6.5 games or less behind. And the Mets are 7, and the Pirates are 8 behind. So we're right on their heels. That's like me saying the Pirates are going to make the wild card.
I would, to be honest, and I'm not saying that I'm not going that far, but
wow.
Like I say, PNC Field is a jungle when they actually get there. But that doesn't happen often.
Well, like I said, it should be very interesting down the stretch. Some of my predictions, I think the Marlins, Luis Reyes, he will flirt with 400, but I think he'll come up short. He'll be at like around 390 something. But Marlins too. You gotta check out the Marlins too. You get a chance, check out the Marlins. The Marlins play very, very hard, and they're in games. And unfortunately, they just happen to be. If they was in the American League Central, they'd be in first place by about 6 or 7 games. But unfortunately, they play in the National League East, where the juggernaut Atlanta Braves are just doing it. And like Vlax said, they are. They're doing it with their pitchers still hurt, man. So I predict that. Then I know the Yankees will not be staying home. The Yankees will get a wild card. They'll win. I think Tampa Bay will win that division. Baltimore, and the Yankees, and then I think there's one other wild card, right? So it might be Houston represent the wild cards, and then that's what I'm saying. And then of course Atlanta. I think the Marlins, they will continue their play. Cincinnati, I don't see them letting up. They're going to win the National League Central. And I think the Brewers, I think the Marlins, and I'm going to say Arizona is going to win the National League Central. National League West. I think Arizona can do it. So seeing that, and then the Dodgers will be a wild card, and we'll go from there. Eric, you had your hand up. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I thought I said something.
No. I mean, I love to see it, but I just well, I have to see it first to see it.
Well, here's
Right.
the good news: is they do have a trade deadline coming up, and they can. A lot of these teams can address their weak spots, pitching,
Right.
whatever. So really, as far as predicting who's going to do what until then, it's kind of a moot point because some of these rosters may change a lot.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. Man, this has been a very good show. Hey, like you said, we talked baseball full hour and a minute currently. Hey, don't forget, if you like what the show, how the show is going, hey, click on that support us here, this QR code. You hit the QR code, and whatever you want to lay in your heart to donate to us, you can get at us. We also will be opening up a Patreon account. I don't have our PayPal account up here. I will get that up here. But hey, if you like how the show is going, please, just donate, and that is money that we can use to even upgrade the show and make it even better as it is. So, like I said, we're moving and shaking. We have the ability now to have you call into the show. Trolls, you will be dealt with. In fact, he'll be dropped. So, but shout out to my man Black. He provided a good call. He talked about his Braves, and hopefully everybody was able to do it. So you'll be able to do that here in the future, where we'll have a segment where we'll take phone calls, man, and had a good time talking baseball tonight, man. So let me get to my other dudes, parting shots real quick. Like I said, we will not be on this coming Thursday. We will be on next Thursday. Next Thursday, we will be on where we'll be on next Thursday. We'll be off this week. We'll be on vacation, and we'll take it from them. Dan, what you got for us? Parting shots real quick.
No, man, great show. Great to see everybody. Good talk. Not really that far into baseball, but it's always good to shoot the shit and learn more about the sport and the best players and all that good stuff. But it was a great time. Hope everybody has a good week, and we'll see you. Well, it'll be 2 weeks for me, but see you in 2 weeks.
Gotcha. And our hockey guy. Hey, what you got for us?
Yo, man, this was good, man. Just to talk about one particular sport and none of the other other type of talk that's usually involved with the other sports. But yeah, this was a good standalone show, man. Appreciate everybody. V-Lac, man. Congratulations on being the very first sports chaser call-in.
That's right.
Thank you, sir. V-Lac is always in the YouTube comments, man, where all of y'all can get at us in the comments. Great show. Salute to everybody not here. D-Dub, DA, you know what I'm saying? Dan, appreciate you as always. Kev, appreciate you. And we'll see y'all when we see y'all.
Appreciate that, angry one. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, man. This is always great talking sports. Like I said, we're gonna be on a little vacation. We'll see you guys back next Thursday. Remember to like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Also, we're on all major podcast platforms. If you missed the standalone shows with the boxing that was done this past week, and Dan and I did hockey this past week, make sure you get at that and listen to those standalone shows. If you're a hockey person, hey, Dan is your guy. Yeah, Dan says he doesn't know about baseball, but I don't believe him. He's just jiving. He's just joking. Whatever, Dan. But he does know that hockey stuff. That's for sure. I put him up against anybody. Let me say that again. I'll put Dan up against anybody when it comes to talking hockey. He's that dude, and he's our dude for sure. So appreciate Dan as always. Eric, wonderful newsletter you wrote this morning. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. And that was a really good one. If you want to get at Eric's newsletter, make sure you subscribe to our Sports Chasers podcast website. And a little pop-up thing will pop up. Put your name and your email in there. Boom, you'll get his newsletter as well as other newsletters. So Thank you so much, man. So I don't have nothing much. Let me cue this thing up. Shout out to the guys that couldn't be here. Mike Mills, Dale D Dub, and the DA can be with us tonight, man. But hey, we'll be back strong and force here in a little bit. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I'm going to get out of here. Hey, you guys, enjoy your week. We see you guys here, I believe, next Thursday. Not this Thursday. Don't look for us this Thursday. If you miss us that much, make sure you go back to the other episodes and check us out because we're there on YouTube and on all major podcast platforms. But with that said, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L. Warren, your host and moderator. Dan the Hockey Dude, James the Angry One. Also in their absence, Mike Mills, Daryl D. Del Warren, and the DA, Dorian Albritton. This is the Sports Chasers Podcast. Y'all be good, be blessed. Have a great week. Enjoy the All-Star game tomorrow and the home run hitting contest. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to turn it on. Enjoy that. And, we'll get at you next Thursday. Be good, be blessed. Peace.